Welcome back to Lasco Ford. Finally, we got what I've been waiting for quite some time, the all-new Ranger that Ford's producing. The 2019 Ford Ranger is here, and now we've got it, and we got it in a awesome package. So if we're gonna show you this, we might as well show you one that's very, very well equipped. This is the FX4 XLT crew cab, and you're gonna have a couple different variations. So let's just start like we always do from the front, and let's kind of come around the vehicle, look at it outside, inside, under the hood, talk about the options and equipment. And the first thing I want to get out of the way is, wow on the price, right? Well, let me tell you why the price is as much as $42,000 for a midsize truck. Well, you take a look at it and go, this isn't what your old Ranger was back in 99 or 2011 or 10 or anywhere in between there. This is a whole different animal, and I'm going to tell you why. Follow me on this. So, starting out, blacked out headlights. You got a two-tone bumper with a front push bar here, which is also going into the FX4, having a skid plate underneath. That's awesome. How about adaptive cruise control? Didn't have that in your old Ranger, that's for sure. Pedestrian alert system, forward sensing system. You got a painted magnetic grille. This color is called Pepper on this specific option here. But all these blacked out features, all these painted features, it's changed the truck. This isn't the one that you're going to give to your kid who's going to be, you know, out taking it behind, but you can because look at the ground clearance. 8.9 inches. Boom, that just happened. But how about this? Not your old engine that was just shy of 200 horsepower at 180 or 190 horse. This is 270 horse with 310 pound-foot of torque. Boom. Why? Because it's got a 2.3 liter twin scroll turbo engine in it that also goes in our Mustang. Think that'll haul the mail? It will, at over 1,800 pounds capability of payload. Take a look at the wheels, machined aluminum wheels on this, and then you've got the magnetic painted inserts on that. Massive rotors, huge calipers on this thing, and you're gonna wrap that beautiful rim in a Dynapro ATM. Well, let's talk about some more things. Well, this vehicle has got a massive McPherson strut system that's set up for a front suspension, awesome ground clearance and approach angle in the front. Huge running boards on this one, but the cool thing is you'll look at it in a lot of other vehicles, and underneath the belly of the vehicle there's all kinds of stuff hanging down. Not with the Ford Ranger. 2019 they came out with a completely different skid plate system that's going to cover your transfer case. It's going to cover your front E-Pass system, which is your electric power assisted steering, to make this truck very easy to maneuver, but it's also going to cover your fuel tank as well. So taking this vehicle to places where normal trucks don't go or are maybe going to get hung up a little bit, we're going to show you how you won't in the Ranger. So we're going to keep going. I love the fender flares that they've got on the vehicle too. That's going to protect you from a lot of the rock chips and all that crap. But here, take a look above the exhaust here. You've actually got a gravel guard that's already built into the paint down on the bottom side of the truck. Well played, Ford. FX4 is going to also come with an electric locking rear differential, your FX4 badging on the side, and then it all gets complemented with these awesome tail lights that say Ranger inside of there. They're LED. You've also got down below here kind of a little camouflage there. That's blind spot awareness system. So what does that mean? Well, if you got somebody that's standing or driving in your blind spot, not standing, driving, let's correct that real quick. But if somebody's driving in your blind spot, they don't get out of the way, it's going to indicate that on the mirror for both the driver and the passenger side. Well, that's easy enough. That wasn't available on your 98 Ranger, was it? Okay, now check this out. Reverse sensing system. Never an option that's been on a Ranger before. Ford thought about everything with this truck. Take a look at the height of this hitch. There's my knee down here, and above that is where this massive hitch is. Well, why? Why do you do that? For the approach and descent angle. So the descent angle, like on the Raptor that Ford paid attention to, is this angle from here to your tire, right? That is massive, but guess what? It's the same height on the bumper as it is on the hitch. So you're not going to have a hitch hanging below. So if you decide to approach a more aggressive hill or coming off of pavement onto off-road, you're not going to drag a hitch and hang up the backside of the truck. Oh, there you go, genius. Back here, we got a reverse backup camera. Again, old Ranger, no. New Ranger, yes. That's going to be a protruding Ford emblem that you've got there. The cool thing that I like about this, keeping it simple. The bed has plenty of tie downs for you to put whatever you need to for that. Hold on, let me go to my notes here. 1,860 pound payload capability. Towing capability better than my F-150. I have a 2.7 liter twin turbo in my 2015 full-size crew cab F-150 with a trailer towing package. This can tow 100 pounds more than my F-150. There's where you're getting your $42,000. You want to talk about capability, not just looking fancy and pretty like some of our pathetic competitors. I like the top rails. Here's a problem. I'm 5'7". Does that look like a small truck to you? Because I can barely reach in the bed, and I definitely can't touch the flooring of the bed because it's a deep well in there. So your old Ford Ranger, you can reach in there and your well is much shallower. Now, got a deeper well, fresher water. Take a look at the bed. So here, also, capless fuel system. So no gas cap, you got dual drains, and you got a lock on the inside of it. So if we do have a little extra fuel spillage, it goes right down this little drain and it disperses underneath the vehicle. Not in your way, right? Huge leaf springs that are on the vehicle, and we have, unlike the F-150, we now have inboard mounted shocks for maximum off-road capability and keeping that payload. Well, you're also seeing this high-strength steel frame. Well, just like the F-150, that's a completely fully boxed frame with 6 cross members on it. On the F-150, you can go as many as 10 cross members on the 250, and yes, you have another cross member on the 150, but take a look at what your wheelbase is. It's not as long as where the F-150 is, so we don't need as many cross members. One thing that you're going to see different, a lot of things you're going to see different than an F-150, is that your price. Try and get this in an F-150 at 42 grand with all these goodies. Never going to happen. You're going to be about $12,000 to $14,000 shy, and there's options in the XLT on the Ranger that you can only get in the Lariat on the F-150. So now talk about another price hike. Talking in the 50s, now we're talking in the 60s. So all of a sudden 40,000, 42,000 sounds a lot more affordable. Well played. We're going to take a look at the inside. I'm going to go to the other side and point out a couple things real quick for you. But take a look at the back of the console. The back of the console, they already started thinking about charging ports and having things like, a 400 watt power inverter, right? 2 different USB ports. And then this I like. So you've got these 2 little tethers here. You just pull that tether and you've got storage. Now this will lock into place so it doesn't come slamming down when you hit the brakes when you're out bajaing in the middle of Mexico. But this thing right here, storage, jack handles, more storage. Well, where's the jack? You want to ask that question? I'll show you. It's right back here. You got another tether right here. This tether, not for the seats, car seats. This is actually, pull that up and your back seat will drop down. There's your scissor jack. Here's your funnel for your capless fuel system if you ever need to add it from a red can. Don't ever jam a red can inside of there. If you've ever seen a car dealership that has a gas can hanging out of the side, it's because it was not properly used with the funnel. Power sliding rear window with defrost, beautiful. But a lot of people are going to ask, hey, sit in it so we can see how big it is. Here I go. Well, there you go. Ford nailed it on another crew cab with plenty of room. I see more room here than what I'm seeing in really, I've been in a couple double cab GM vehicles and I feel like I've got more room here than I do in a double cab for sure. Yeah, this seat's all the way back. And you've got a nice contour map pocket here, so you got a place to put your knees. Now, is this going to be comfortable for 3 people to sit across the back? You can, but I don't recommend having your knees in your chin because the drivetrain actually runs through this hump, unlike the F-150 with a completely flat floor. We wanted ground clearance, so we brought that up, and that's tucked into the floor metal of the vehicle in there. So that's where they hid that. Check out the inside in the front row. Now, hold on a second. Did you hear that? My mic's on. Ready? That shuts like a truck, not like a tin can. Go ahead and do that door test when you're taking a look at, something else, Tacoma or Colorado. So take a look at power seats, tilting seats. We have the option of heated seats that is right up here, just below your infotainment center. This is going to have your My Ford Touch. Actually your Sync 3 system, I apologize there. But this also has your 4G modem inside, pairing up to 10 devices within 50 feet of the vehicle. And then you take a look at this turn dial. You got 4 low, 4 high, 2 high, and then you have TM. TM is going to be your terrain management, giving you 4 different settings between snow, mud and rut, sand, gravel, normal driving mode. I mean, it's like any situation you want to throw at this truck, it's going to be prepared to handle it. You still got a nice contour on your console, so you actually have that little elbow room, and then they cut it back here so you can throw your big gulp in there. And then you got another one here. So you still got all your storage that you want to have, and still got room for your drinks. Emergency brakes over here on this side instead of a foot pedal. And why is that? Well, more aggressive driving. That's the way I look at it. And then you're got to have room for your foot, for your brake and your gas down below. Steering wheel is going to look very, very similar to what your F-150 is going to look like. And it's a leather wrap steering wheel on this FX4 XLT 19 Ranger. And then they've moved a couple things. So your mirror display, or how you adjust your side view mirrors, over here on the dash. So that's not going to be on the side of the driver's door. Couple things moved here, but I like it. You know, it's one of those things where I go, you know, what's some of the benefits that I see in this truck versus mine? I keep comparing it that way. How about dual climate control? I have an XLT 302A in my F-150. This one has dual climate control for passenger side, driver side. Guess what? My F-150 doesn't, and that wouldn't be available until you get into Lariat for your dual climate control. Yeah, you might want to think about this Ranger a little bit more. Backup camera, then you look at this mirror. Just this mirror, you know, that's just a mirror. Well, how about behind it? Okay, behind it is this big hunk of plastic that you don't see from the driver or passenger position because it's hidden by your rear view mirror. But what goes out of there? Well, let's take a look at the windshield. Take a look at the windshield, and you've got cameras up front, and what that's going to be is for the pedestrian alert system, the adaptive cruise control system, all of the other safety features. Hold on, let me rattle some of them off to you. Power and efficiency, yep, check, got that covered. Here we go. Are you ready? The adaptive cruise control, the Bang & Olufsen sound system, B&O sound, right? You could only get that in the Raptor, and then it started going into the F-150s and the higher ends. You can get that in an XLT Ranger. Okay, starting price. We started talking about how they can get into the 40s. How about your starting price on this is $24,300. Same powertrain all the way through, 2.3 liter. You're getting the same horse, you're getting the same torque. All you're going to change is off-road capabilities and the amenities. So how spoiled do you want to be inside of your new Ranger? Here's what I like, no hood prop. That's kind of nice, so you don't have to sit there and try and jank around with that thing on the side of the road if you need to. But you got a huge fan cooling off this system too, so it's not running one of the electronic fans. This is actually running a fan out of the front crankcase cover of the engine, right? So you've got that going for you, and you can hear it when you fire this truck up, which we'll do in just a second. Woof, you hear that big loud fan in here. Air intake system on this side, huge oversized battery on this side, and all clear containers. Ford's really good about that, letting you be able to see where your coolant, your brake fluid levels are at. That's nice to be able to just do a quick check, easy access on your oil over here, and it's going to tell you what weight oil you need to use as well. The cool thing about this vehicle too is when you go to drive it, it doesn't feel cheap. It feels very solid, very put together on the 2019 Ford Ranger. So what I would say is keep watching videos, but get out and drive one. So if you want to have a great idea of what this truck's really about, put your foot into the accelerator and check for yourself. The funny thing is, same size motor they used to have in it with the 2.3 liter back in the day with a Ranger, whole different powertrain. You got to see how this animal runs. Just want to say thank you for watching our videos. Please comment on anything you'd like us to touch on for future reference, or any questions that you might have. We'll be more than happy to help out. My name's Paul Zagman. I'm here at Lasco Ford in Fenton, Michigan, taking a look at the 2019 Ranger. We appreciate you watching.